Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're at episode 34. So excited to see you. I know you're seeing me. Well, you know what? I feel like I'm seeing you guys. So welcome back. I'm happy to see you guys. We're in February. You know, I love February. I've always loved February. I got to be honest. February is one of my favorite months. I just love it. I love like the colors of Valentine's Day decorations. I like that it's a short month. I like that I especially on the East Coast, I like the cold air, the brisk. But like the thing about February is like, you know that spring is like right around the corner. So you're just kind of like on that home stretch. So you could really enjoy the last bitterness of winter. This winter went really fast, in my opinion. I feel like it like flew by. You know, February is a nice little month. It's like, yeah, it's short, but it's sweet. It's brisk. Then the Valentine's Day colors, I just absolutely love them. I love Valentine's Day colors. So we are here at episode 34. So I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about this because maybe some of you noticed it. I don't know if, you know, who did notice it, but if you did notice it, please message me about it because I love, you know, and I love when energy aligns or when things fall into place. So remember the last two episodes. So when I record 2 episodes. Usually I record 2 episodes at a time. So we have them recorded, then we do the editing, and it's like, well, you know, so if I record, then one episode might be played 2 weeks later. So we did it was 32 and 33. So for whoever remembers, in episode 32, I switched the shiny crystal like in the moment. Like when I prepared for the show, my shiny crystal for episode 32 was the moon. And then episode 33, I had the shiny crystal being angels. And then if you remember at episode 32, I was like, you know what? I want to do angels today. And I crossed it out and I switched it. And I was like, I'm going to do angels today. This was for episode 32. And then I moved the moon to episode 33. And remember, I felt like just pulled to do it. So then the next episode, which I recorded that same day, was for episode 33. And if you remember, so that was the last episode last week, I had said, oh, episode 33, that's an angel number. And then I was like going into the moon being the shiny crystal. And I was like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I switched the shiny crystals. This would have been perfect to do the angels as the shiny crystal on episode 33, angel number. I was like, oh my God, and then I was beating myself up for like getting my hands involved and not letting, you know, I was like, not letting the energy flow or letting my intuition guide us. Because like I always said, my intuition always guides us or guides me into doing the best thing to work out. And I'm always like, I get in the way of my own magic. Well, then when I was doing we're doing the editing, and I realized that when I was going to post episode 33 last week, it was a full moon on that night. So the moon episode for episode 33 wound up being aired on the night of a full moon. And it wasn't like the full moon was the day before or the day after. It was Sunday night, that night. And I had switched the episode before the shiny crystals. So I was like, again, it worked out. And I love that. I love when things just align, because here I was blaming myself for switching them. But meanwhile, when I switched them, it actually worked out for the best. The angel shiny crystal didn't have to be for episode 33, because episode 33, being the moon that I switched, wound up being aired on the full moon. So I'm hoping some of you caught that, because I really loved it. And I just love when energy aligns and the magic works, because it's beautiful. So I really love that. So I hope some of you caught that. Anyway, here we are, episode 34. And my shiny crystals today are friends. Okay, friends and friendship. It's so important. Friends are like, they just are great to have, because you can truly be yourself. For like real friends, you could be yourself. There's no expectation. I mean, there's expectation to be a good friend, but having a good friend to just be yourself with, and like, it's not like there's no like having to be anything, or, you know, like with family, there's different expectations, or coworkers, there's different expectations. But friends, if it's good friends or real friends, you just get to just have fun, kick it, be you, talk things out. You could vent to your friends. You laugh with your friends. You have good times with your friends. I feel like you could genuinely just be yourself with your friends. Because like even like with your parents or your siblings or, you know, family members, you're kind of being the thing you are that you were raised around or that you grew up around. With your friends, you're just being like your true self. Think about it. Think about like when you're with your family and then when you're with your friends. If your family saw you when you're with your friends, they'd be like, huh, who's that person? Like, like obviously it's not like a completely different person, but there's just a different vibe. So I would often say too, one of my goals is to live completely in my authenticity. I want to be who I am with my friends around my family. I always say, I have this thing with my family where I'm always like, everyone in the world, everyone I know and encounter sees the magic in me, and they understand what I bring to the table and my personality, and they love it. And my family's always like nitpicking or picking at me, or, that's what families do. Right. But I want to show them the person I am, like when I'm just with friends. Actually, sometimes when I do that, like, you'll get like a little like, oh, maybe with with my sisters, I'm able to be like that. With my sisters, I'm able to be like that more. But yeah, friends are so important. Friends are like, there was a poem. The thing that made me want to say friends as a shiny crystal, there was a poem that I saw, and I thought I saved it, but I couldn't find it. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. Let me see if I looked on TikTok that I thought I saved it on TikTok. Oh, let me see. Maybe it was on Instagram. That's what it was. Okay. Yes, that's what it was. It's called The Train Station Theory. And this is about friends or people. The train station theory. Life is a journey where friends are like passengers. Okay. With some joining for only a few stops, while others travel alongside for longer periods. These temporary connections, like at a train station, are not failures, but moments to cherish, teaching lessons before the paths inevitably diverge. And I love thinking of friendships as like, because that's what it was. There was like this thing. There's a whole, I'll read it to you. So first I'll tell you so there's the theory of, it's like, you're on a train and there's people sitting next to you on the train. Some of the people get off at stops before your stop. They're there with you, and then there's a stop. They have to get off, but they were still your friend. They were still there with you. But then there are some people who are on that train with you your whole life until your last stop. So I loved that. When I saw that, I was like, that's so true. Ooh, that's so true. I hope I didn't break it. So I love that. It's so true that there are friends that are with you for a few stops, and then there's friends that are with you the whole train ride to the end. And I love that. So it's like, the train station of life, this is the poem. Life is like a bustling, crowded station where friends arrive for a brief duration. Some catch a train for just a single stop, sharing a laugh before they have to drop. Others stay for miles through light and shade, creating memories that will never fade. But in this station, trains are always leaving, and saying goodbye can feel like grieving. We try to hold on to the ones we adore, wishing their journey with us lasted more. Yet in this we learn a precious, quiet truth. Some friends are meant for moments, not for youth. They travel a while, then catch a different line, leaving behind a moment, a memory, a sign. Cherish the ones who ride to the end of the track, but treasure the travelers who never come back. For they were there for a purpose, for a time, making a journey a lifelong rhyme. And I love that because we've all had friends that, like, there's one best friend that I had that I thought we were going to be best friends for life. He was a comedian in my comedy life. We were best friends. He opened for me a lot. We were roommates, and I adored him. I love him still, but our paths had to path. I never thought that was going to happen, but they had to part. Life took us in different directions. My direction took me in a way different direction than I ever imagined when I was in comedy, but his life also took him in a different direction. And I love him, and I'll always love him, and I'll cherish him. I'll cherish what I learned from that relationship. But he had to get off at his stop, and he wasn't meant to be on the train with me for a lifetime. And then I came back to Long Island, my hometown, and it's funny because I've reunited with a lot of my friends that didn't really get to keep in touch with when I was in comedy or living in LA. I would always be the type of friend where if we texted, we would always be there. It would never be weird. It was always a great text, always keep in touch that way. But since I've been back, I've been hanging out with them more or going by their home. And I'm like, these are my people that are on the train for a lifetime. No matter where I've been in life, on the journeys, all different things that I've experienced, they are still, still feels like we're in sixth grade together, It still feels like, we graduated high school and we're all it still feels like that when we're together. It never changed. And I have had best friends and close friends in comedy that I thought were going to be my friends for life, but they were just friends on that train and they had to get off at their stop. And that's okay. Their friendship really still means a lot to me and I still love them. And the lessons I learned from that friendship will always stay with me. And I hope any lessons they learned from me will stay with them. But I love that poem. Not every friend stays on the train to the last stop. So cherish them all, man. All right. Well, let's go on to reincarnate or reincarnate. This one might sound ridiculous to you guys, but you know me, I don't care. I want to have fun with it. I want to truly feel it. Like I want to get into the energy of it. So reincarnate or reincarnate. My two objects are a TV, a television, or a couch. So let's start with the television. Would I reincarnate into a television? Just to reiterate what I talked to you about, what the reincarnation, it's not what we see like, oh, I have to be in, birth. Oh, you know what I will say? One of my clients / listeners / at this point, I've done many readings for her. So I consider her a friend in my life and my, my heart, I love all my people. But when I, do readings for someone over and over and over, I consider them in my heart, Obviously it's not like a friend we're talking all the time or I know their personal life, but you know what I mean? So I would say she's a client, a listener, a friend, we'll call her. And she asked if I would reincarnate into a human again. And I think, I often say that this is my last run, that this is it. I'm going to do the most I can in this life because I feel like my soul's done with the human experience. So, but I often do say I would love to come back as a Scorpio female. So I guess I'm 50-50. Would I be a human again? I think I would be a human again. Yes, I do often feel like this is my last life and that I'm supposed to make the biggest impact in this life. But if I think about it, I probably would be a human again. But I just, a Scorpio woman, please. If there's like a card I could put in, like, what is it? Like, a request box. If there's a request box, Scorpio female, please. So anyway, yes. So girl, yes, I would be a human again, but I have a feeling this is my last run. They often say that your last life in your reincarnation cycle is your biggest impact in the world. So, okay. So would I be a TV or a couch? A TV. Again, the energy can just jump into it, experience it, and leave. Obviously, you're not just like birthing into a TV. It's not a whole. That's what I was going to say. Like you see in the movies, like it's a whole thing. Your energy, like I said, is a free-flowing form. It can be anywhere, and it can do anything. Oh, I want to mention this too. So in one of my readings the other day, I was channeling. So like, yes, I'm connecting to spirit, but sometimes the spirit will actually like jump in my body, and it's not like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost where she's like, ah, it's not like that. But like I start talking like them and it feels like I can tell the difference between when I'm doing mediumship, when I'm doing psychic, or when I'm being channeled. And I was saying to her, I was like, girl, and everything I was saying was just like him and the way I was saying it. And I can feel the difference. I'm like, I think I'm channeling right now. I was like, I love this feeling. It's happened to me probably like more than a handful of times. So I'd say maybe like 7 or 8 times, maybe like, let's just say like 10 times it's happened in my readings. I love it. Like when they're speaking through me, like literally inside me, because I've always been like I like being outside my body, like when I was in my 20s and stuff, I did experiment with drugs and I liked being outside of my body. When I was on stage as a comedian or acting I loved being in a role, And with channeling, you're there, you're not yourself. Like I would say things and I was like, it's him. He's speaking through me. I'm speaking like him. And it was just beautiful. And I love that. And I said to her, I was like, most people would be afraid of this feeling, but I gotta be honest, girl, I love it. So I would like to get into channeling more and maybe look into how to do that, because when it's happening, like for real, it's so cool. So a TV, I know I keep getting sidetracked. Well, I guess it's fun because like people love their TV, but I kind of feel bad for a TV because they have to stay in one space. Like they don't get to do anything. There's no like, when you're a leaf or a tree or a snowflake or a flower or a human or an animal, a TV is so like that word. What's that word when it just it's stable? Like it can't do anything. It's just like, what's that word, Jay? Like an inanimate object, but it's stuck in one spot. It's like there's another word. It's like it's not mobile. It's something else. It's like another word. Anyway, it's that word where you're just in one spot all the time. And a TV, the poor thing, it's like it's always showing a move. It's like showing the person, the TV, the show, or the movie, and they're just never like appreciated in the sense of like. They never get love. I guess TV doesn't need doesn't need affection, but I just feel bad for it because it's like always on. It's always like on show. The TV. It's always got to put on a show. It's always got to deliver. And then like, oh, God forbid the TV's not working, and then they're hitting it on the side. I definitely wouldn't want to be a TV in the 80s or the 90s because kids abuse those things. When I was a kid, I used to throw my Nintendo thing at the TV. If you get and you throw it at the TV, like. Yeah, TVs were abused in the 80s and 90s, I think I would say. So they're underappreciated because this is the thing. A TV is only appreciated and loved when it's working. No one ever loves their broken TV, or no one ever loves their TV that's like a little fuzzy, or it's like the picture isn't perfect. Oh, if the picture's not perfect on the TV, people are so mean to the TV. So no, I would not want to be a TV because it's just not appreciated and it's not loved, and it's always working. It's always on for day in, day out. Like, it's like, go ahead. They got the remote control. They're like, do it for me. Put on my show. Let's go. Like, it's like, God damn, give me a minute, And then like when the TV's old and done, they just throw it out or they give it away. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be a TV in the box being shipped around by Best Buy. No, I'm not into it. Nope. Too many options. Like, no, I definitely would not want to be a TV. And a couch. Would I want to be a couch? A couch is cozy. I don't know if I want everyone's asses on me, farting on me, and like people having sex on the couch, and I'm just like laying there. Like, no, I don't know if and the crumbs and everything getting in the middle of the couch, people eating on the couch, and I feel like couches are used and abused. Imagine being like a couch in a frat house, like. Oh, no. I mean, that could be no. It depends on the frat. If those boys are hot, like, no, I don't know. I still wouldn't want to be a couch. No, because no. Actually, now that I think about it, in frat houses, sometimes those couches, bad things happen on those couches. So absolutely not. I want nothing to do with that. And then like when people are trying to move a couch into their apartment, what a nightmare. Like, I don't want to be the thing that's jamming everybody up. And they're pushing it and squeezing it and flipping it. And oh my God, like that. No. I definitely, no. I don't think I would want to be a couch or a TV. Is there anything good about a couch? The only thing good about a couch that I think I could connect to is that it's loved, that people love their couch until they don't. Even then, if they don't, they still kind of, they give the couch away. It gets reused. So no, either or, TV or couch. I don't want to be either, because every time I think of this couch, I just think of stains on it. I think of like, again, people like farting and doing nasty things on the couch. Yeah, it doesn't feel like a good vibe for me. Although a couch does get to stay in a home for a long time, most of the time. Yeah, so that's kind of lovely. I guess a couch I would be depending. It would have to be like, yeah, it would just be a little bit. You know what though? If I'm going to do just a little bit, maybe a TV for like, 2 Golden Girls episodes, that could be fun. like just to see what it's like to be a TV. I feel like, you know what I just did? Like I put myself in the I put myself in the TV, like what I would be feel, and I feel like zzz, I feel like electric. So I don't know if I love that. No, I don't. Because when I like connect to the TV and I put myself in it, I feel zzz, I feel like electric. I don't like it. No, I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. So no, definitely not a TV, and maybe a couch for a little while, but not in a frat house. All right, well, that's it for today for the reincarnate. So no on TV, maybe on a couch for a little bit in like a nice house, maybe like a couch in like Beverly Hills or something, you know, hardly used, like in that room, you know, like rich people that have that room they never use. No, but I don't want to be a couch in a cold room. And I don't want to be a couch with a bunch of kids jumping around on me and being sick on me. No. I got a lot of hang-ups about the couch. So that's like a maybe. We'll do a maybe on the couch, depending. All right, so let's go to a wise one. Okay, so today I'm just going to remember a question that someone asked me yesterday in my reading. And what they said to me was, when you're doing this reading, do you hear them? Do you see them? How are you communicating with them? So what I'm doing, a lot of times, like when my eyes are closed too, I'm asking questions or I'm guiding the conversation with them. And it's also easier for me to see the pictures, but I can just be talking to somebody, and like Jay, my producer, we were just talking and he asked me to do it. And I was like, well, it doesn't work like that. But then I was like, you know what, let me just stop having so many rules and let me see what happens. And we did get some hits, some really good ones and really specific ones. So I can just do it just by, you know, I have to be in, I always feel like I have to be in a meditative space, but today with Jay, I didn't have to be in a meditative space. So that was pretty cool because I like took myself out of my comfort zone and I was like, yeah, let's just do it on the fly. And it was like a name and a hit. So that was cool. So I'm learning to not have to be in a meditative space like I do when I'm in my readings. Like I want to be like Teresa Caputo. She just walks around. She's at the grocery store and she's like, your mother's standing behind you. I love that. You know, like I've always been like, mine has always been more like controlled and in a meditative space and more like conscious, not consciously. What's the word I'm looking for today? Intentional, like more like, all right, here we are. I'm doing it. I'm connected. We're connected. Here it is. But I like to open up more to just be able to be like, yeah, no, this is what they're saying. And here it is. So the man asked me, what do I feel? Do I hear? So I said to him, I see, they show me words, or I'll feel things, or both. But it's always seeing. They always show me words, show me pictures. So I'm playing charades with them. Sometimes I'll hear, and I love that. Like when I actually hear the word, like hear it, like physically hear it, because I'm always hearing it because it's the words, you know, like how do you know that not everybody hears a voice in their head? Like they don't hear that. That's interesting. That's a side note. But when I'm doing, so when I'm connecting or reading or doing anything like that, I will sometimes physically hear it. I always see it, the word they show me or a picture, and then feel. Like I feel what they're trying to say. So that's what I said to him. So that was cool. Like I like when people are inquisitive about the process, you know? So yeah, so that's how that works. So yeah, you can feel it, hear it. I think if you ever try to do it, if any of you are interested in doing mediumship or psychic stuff, try to listen, but not always audibly listen. Listen. When I say listen, I mean, when you're getting words or you're getting images, listen to what they're saying. Like, don't just shove the words off. Like those words are for a reason. They're saying it for a reason. So that's how you got to listen to it. All right. So on to our sponsor. So our sponsor, Christine Louisi, Collective Beauty Skincare Studio. We love her. I know there's been a few people who have reached out, who have gone to her. Continue to do so. She's so freaking great. The place is so cute. Malvern, New York. Very easy peasy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And if you mention Crusty Crystals, you get 25% off. Remember that. All right. So our voice note astrology. Well, it's not a voice note today. Today, she wrote it in. She gave me her kids. She has 2 sons, a daughter. and she gave me their big three and her big three. And was there a question to it? Let me see. Okay, so she said, "Hi, love your pod. I have 3 babies. The last 2 came through on previous readings, so I must have seen them. The last 2 are boys, so we must have seen the boys in the readings, and then she had boys. So that's what that means. But I would love to know their potential sibling dynamic via astrology." Okay, so that's the question there. Okay. So she is a rising Gemini, Leo sun, Cancer moon. Her daughter, the firstborn, that's a 5-year-old, her rising is Aquarius, her sun sign is Gemini, her moon is Aquarius. And then her 2 sons, the ones that we saw in the readings, is a 3-year-old, and then there's one that's going to be 1. Okay, so her rising is Sag. The sun sign, the sun is rising Sag, sun Aquarius, moon Virgo. And then the baby sun is a rising Sag, sun Cancer, moon Scorpio. So let's see. So their sibling dynamic, to keep it easy, the daughter, the oldest daughter, rising Aquarius, moon Aquarius, sun. Oh my God, she's triple air. And then the 2 baby boys, the 2 sons, rising Sag, sun Aquarius, moon Virgo, and then interesting Sag. They both have Sag rising, which is going to be good for the air daughter. And both her sons, the moon is Scorpio and Virgo, and she has a moon in Aquarius, the daughter. So that's actually cool. I like that she's all air, and then the sun has a Virgo moon, and the other son has a Scorpio moon. Because with you, you're a air, fire, water. So that's good. I love a triple element person. You know, when you have I'm a earth, water, air. So I love that when you have 3 different elements in your big 3. I'm gonna say. Well, the first thing I'm feeling is there's a lot of action going on in this house. All that Aquarius energy and the Sagittarius energy, we're all over the place. The daughter is going to be, this is good because she has got those 2 brothers. So boys tend to like bulldoze through things. So the daughter, because she's triple air, she's going to be easy. You know, I mean, she's an Aquarius Gemini, so she's not going to be like easy, but she'll go with the flow. She's mutable. She's, you know, she'll be able to adjust to these little crazy boys because they both got that Sag rising, so they're going to be all over the place. But that baby boy, the youngest one that you have, the almost 1-year-old, he's got double water, Cancer, Scorpio, but that Sag rising, I feel like he's going to need a lot of love and understanding. And that middle child, he might be, listen, I know the second born always has a bad rap. The second born is usually a wild child. And he has Sag, Aquarius, Virgo. He's going to be a wild. He's going to be like something else. He's going to be a character, that one. So you got to let him just, be his crazy little self. The baby is going to be an emotional self who constantly puts themselves out, because he's got the Sag rising and then the 2 water. So he's going to be putting himself out constantly. And the daughter, thank God for all that air, because she's going to be in her own world. I'm going to tell you that right now. That girl is going to be in her own world, doing her own thing. You don't even have to, there's no telling her what to do because she's just beating to her own drum. I would say focus on the 3rd son because he's going to need a lot of that love and that understanding. Their dynamic, like I said, the daughter, she's going to be in her own world doing her own thing. And I think the boys, they'll be, well, here's the thing. That little boy, the 3rd one, I don't think he's going to be like rough and tough. I think he's going to be intense. That 3rd one, the 1-year-old, he's going to be an intense energy. And that middle child's funny. He's funny. I just feel funny from him, the second born. And for you, being a Gemini rising, Leo, sun, moon, and Cancer, I think you're well-rounded. You have that air, that fire, that water. I think that you're going to be able to relate to all 3 of them in different ways. So what I would say is, let the boys do their little thing that they're going to have. But I think that, to be honest, I think that third son and the daughter, I think there's going to be she's almost going to be like taking care of him. She's going to be very motherly towards him. I think she's going to be able to help him. That's what I keep feeling for that. The middle child just feels destructive. That second born, he's going to be stubborn and a little bit, he might be a little mouthy, He might be a little like, he's going to have that Sag rising thing going. He might be a little cutting, a little mouthy. Your third one, I just feel like he's going to be a little angel, even though he has that Sag rising. I just feel like that Cancer Scorpio, ooh, that Scorpio moon can be rough. No, I just feel sweet. I feel sweet from him. Feels like intuitively. I feel sweet for him. Yeah. I think that you're going to have a very well-rounded circus. That's for sure. But I think it fits you because you're Gemini rising. So as you're getting older and you're getting more into your adulthood, you're supposed to go for the wacky. You're supposed to be, as you get older, it's going to get crazier. So, but your moon Cancer, that you love being a mom, and you're meant to be a mom, and you got 3 very different types of kids. But remember what I say, that girl, the daughter, the firstborn, and the baby, there's going to be a cute little connection between those two. She's going to take on a very motherly role for him. But your secondborn, he's going to live up to the secondborn stuff. I'll tell you that right now. You might have to watch out for him getting into trouble and stuff like that. You got to really teach him. It's going to be hard to confine him to rules and stuff, but it might be beneficial for you to really stay. I don't know. I would say this, anyone who has the trajectory of breaking rules or getting into trouble, I think if you just teach them morals and you teach them standards in morality and just being a good person, then yes, he might make some poor decisions. But if his basis is good-hearted and good person and thinking with a clear mind of being good or just having good morals and good standards, then his bad decisions might be less heavy. You know what I mean? So I would say focus on that with him. The daughter, let her be. She's got to explore her energy. She's Aquarius, Gemini. And the little boy, that's your little lover. He's your little lover. So, all right, my love. Well, thank you so much for sending that. Remember to send in your Oh Wise One questions and your voice note astrologies. Or if you want to write it and not talk, that's fine too. So my final thought today, is this. Let the magic happen. Let things just unfold. And sometimes when you think you made a mistake or you think you fucked it up, you didn't. You actually did the thing. There's a reason why you changed your mind in the moment, or there's a reason why you made a left instead of a right. You did that for a reason. Your soul is guiding you. Listen to your soul more. Listen to your energy more. It's real. It's palatable. It is there for a reason. We are energetic beings. We are souls in a fleshy body. We are not just bodies walking around randomly on a planet spinning in the universe. We are energy that are filling these bodies. Let your magic work. Let it do its thing. When you think you fucked up, you probably didn't, if you're connected. If you're not connected, then yes, you can just fuck up. But if you're connected to yourself in the moment that's happening, shit just happens. It unfolds. Oh, I love that. Let it unfold. Connect to your light. Connect to your energy. Don't second guess. And don't kick yourself in the ass when you think it was a mistake, because I'm telling you, those sayings where they say you wind up in the right spot when you think you don't, it's true. And value your friends, and know that even if your friend doesn't make it to the end of the journey with you, they were there for a reason. They just had to get off at a different stop. That's okay. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting. Follow us on the socials, Instagram, Crusty Crystals Podcast, TikTok, Crusty Crystals Pod, even though I haven't been on Instagram, ThomasDale5 as well, or The Wanderers on TikTok. I haven't been scrolling 2 weeks now. It feels fucking great. Every now and then, when I'm checking my messages or I'm talking to someone, now I'm at the point where I can look at a friend's story and then move on, but no scrolling. 2 weeks, it feels great to be free of that nightmare. of the internet, of like scrolling and for hours. I used to for hours at night when I'm laying in bed getting ready to go to bed. No. Or like waiting, if you're at a red light. Nope, no more. It's so freeing. It's poison. Get it out of your brains. Connect to the people around you. Get on your train and don't have your head in your fucking social media watching other people live or drama or chaos or news. Oh my God, it's so gross all the time. I promise you, babes, you're going to feel so much better if you don't scroll all the time. Once you get past the first week of no scrolling at all, every now and then, if you want to look at your friend's story or like a friend's picture, that's fine. But break the chain of scrolling. I promise you, you won't feel as agitated or sad or scared if you stop scrolling. I promise you. So heed that or not, but love you guys. I hope all is well. Check out Florid Media. We want to give a shout out to Florid Media. We love our studio. We love Jay. We love the space here. It's in Rockville Center. If any of you are looking to do any projects, hit them up. It's great. All right, guys. See you later.